Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about flow control in Mule ESB. Flow control in Mule ESB. What exactly flow control will do? Flow control will not alter the payload at all. It will just control the execution of the flow. For example, if the message of type string or message of type integer, then you have to execute one particular kind of logic. Or example, if you want to route to multiple applications, then in that case we can use this flow control. Today in flow control, we will discuss about choice component and scatter gather. In forthcoming classes we can discuss more about in flow control. Today we will discuss about choice and scatter gather. First we will come with a choice. What exactly choice component will do? Choice component will route the message to the successive endpoint until and unless if the message satisfies the condition what you have configured in the choice component. So for example, if you are sending as a name, if the name is equal to John, then only you have to execute the logic. If the name is not John, then you have to cancel the execution. In that case, you can use this choice component to route the message based upon the condition what you have configured. We will see with a sample example. Just open anypoint-studio. It's anypoint-studio with runtime 3.8. So it's a new studio. Just click on new, click on new Mule project. I will name it as choice example. You can name it anything as you want. Click on finish. We need some source for this application to invoke, so I am using HTTP component as a source for this application. In the same way, I will use set payload and also one choice component, which is the main on which we are going to discuss today. Click on, I think I placed in the wrong place. Just drag and drop next to set payload component and one more set payload component with success message and one more with failure. Now we'll configure one by one. First we'll configure HTTP connector. Just double click on HTTP connector, configure the new, click on add. If you want, you can change the host and port also. As of now I'm okay with the host and port, so I don't want to touch with their configuration, so I can directly change the base path. Here I am providing some base path as choice. After that I am providing star. The reason why I am providing star is like if I enter anything after the base path, it will accept everything. For example, if you want to if you want to add extra thing to the URL like query params or path params, in that case we can use this slash star, which will accept everything after the base path. Here I will set payload as, I can directly give, I will use John. Here I am checking one condition, like here I will, if the username is of John, I will send it as hi John. I will do the same thing here in the value block. sorry it's not John. In the same way you can set the values here also. Here in the choice condition you have to provide the condition and what condition you have to execute the particular logic. If anything here for this particular block alone we have to provide the condition. Based upon this condition, if the condition is satisfied, it will execute this particular logic. If it is not satisfied, then it will go to the default block. In the same way you can have any number of components here, but the default will be common here, because if anything if the condition is not satisfied, then it will come to the default block. Like this one you can add one more also. Here also you can provide like high steward, first of all whenever it will check for the payload value. If it will check the condition, if the first condition is satisfied, it will execute this particular block. If it is not satisfied, it will come to the second block. In the same way, if it is not second block or is not satisfied, then it will come to the default section. Like this way you can add n number of components here. If the all n number conditions are failed, then it will come to the default condition. Okay, here are in the payload I have set as John. So what will the expected payload will be? Hi John. So we will run the application now. Just save it. Just click on the application and press Ctrl Shift X to run the application. Okay, we are getting status as deployed. So application is good to go. Open any one browser. Provide the host followed by the port number followed by the base path. I have provided choice, right? So click on choice. You are getting message as sorry it's not John. Even though we have set the value as John, here it's not checking for the condition. Why? Because we didn't provide the condition, we didn't specify any condition here, so it's by default it's going to the default block and it's printing like sorry it's not John. So to make it work, we can open this one and we can configure here just like how we do it in Java. I'm just taking payload equal to John. In this way, if the payload is equal to John, then it will execute this particular, it will route the message to hi John component. In the same way we can do the same thing for hi Stuart also. If the payload is equal to Stuart, yeah, then now again run the application. One more thing is like when you do any XML configuration, no need to run the application. If you do anything changes in the Java component, then you need to restart the application. Else, if it is just XML change, you can directly go for save the application. By default, it will restart the application again. So as you can see, I didn't do anything. The application restarted. Just go to the browser again and again refresh it. Now you got the message like hi John, because in the choice component we have provided the condition, so it's checking the condition and it's getting the valid message only. Like this you can configure choice component based upon your business conditions. I think we are good to go with the choice component. Now we will discuss about scatter gather. What exactly is scatter gather? Scatter gather is the name it specifies, like it will scatter the message and it will gather the message. For example, in previous versions of Mule there was a component called all component. What exactly is all component will do is like the all component will send the same message to multiple endpoints. Okay, but the main disadvantage of all component is like it will process the message sequentially. Sequentially in the sense like, suppose for example, if you're sending the same message to three endpoints, if the message got failed at the first endpoint, then it will not send the message to second and third endpoint. In that case, that might cause a message loss to the second and third endpoints. It will stop the processing of second and third endpoints. But they improvise this connector and then rename it as scatter gather. What exactly scatter gather component will do is like, scatter gather component, it will route the same message to multiple endpoints, but it will process the request parallelly. Suppose for example, in case if we want to send the same request to three endpoints, if something fails at the first endpoint, then it will not stop processing of second and third endpoint. It will continue the processing of second and third endpoint, so that there won't be any message loss to the second. There won't be message loss or delivery to the second and third components. Now I will show how exactly we run out the same thing in real time example. Just stop the application. Just create a new application again, like click on new Mule project. I can name it as scatter gather example. Okay, just we need a source for the application, so use HTTP. And set payload component. First we'll configure the HTTP component here. So click on add button. If you want, you can change the host and port. I will provide a scatter. Set payload. I will give it as scatter gather example payload. This is a string value which I am providing in the set payload. Here what exactly I am going to do is like, what the payload what I have set in the set payload component should be sent to multiple components. Like for this, to achieve the same functionality, I am going to use scatter gather. Just type scatter, it will display scatter gather component here. Just drag and drop the scatter gather component next to set payload component. It's a complete flow control. You can, as like choice, you can add multiple components within the scatter gather. I will add multiple loggers as of now. I will add 3 loggers. I will logger first configure. I will logger 1, and I am printing the payload. To print, as you know, to print the payload, this is the MEL expression. Logger 2 in the same way. Logger 2, I am printing the payload. And third logger, you can directly logger 3. And I am printing the payload. If you want, you can add any. As of now, for the test purpose, I'm just printing the logger here. If you want, you can add, you can call multiple, you can call one more flow here, and you can add multiple series of components to execute your business logic operation. Whatever you want, you can do it here. For test purpose, I've used this logger. I'm going to run this application. Just click on Control Shift X. It will run the application. As you can see, the status like application was deployed. Okay, now clear the logs. uh, just as the port, everything is same, just change the base path alone. As you can see, nothing was printed, but we'll go to console and we'll check it here. As you can see, right, we got exception here. Why? Because in the here you can see we have configured 3 loggers here. All the 3 loggers got printed. It means that the payload what and all we have set before the scatter gather component is routing it to all the 3 loggers. Okay, but the exception why we got is like after scatter gather component we'll get the data in a different format which is not expected by HTTP component. So we can use combined collections. Why exactly we are use combined collections is like the return type of scatter gather component will be in way of collection format. So it will combine all the collections and it will send back to the HTTP component. We will try whether we will the right way or not. Just stop the application, again Ctrl Shift X to check whether the application is working fine or not. Go to console again and just click on refresh it. I think something got downloaded here. As you might see, right, something was downloading here. And we will go to console and we will see. In the console there is no exception message, but all the 3 loggers got printed. But how to send back this combined collections payload send back to the HTTP connector? For that we can suppose, for example, here we can use object to string transformer. What exactly is object to string transformer? Is nothing but toString method in Java. Just click on save. If we save if it is an XML change, no need to restart the application again. It will restart automatically once you save the changes. See, we got the message like I already mentioned it's a collection, right? So it's a collection of size 3. As you can see, 3 messages got appended next to each other and it gets printed in the HTTP browser. Like this way you can use scatter gather component and choice component. Based upon the condition you can modify the logic and you can implement the same. Hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching it.